Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the Wrestling Classic. Justin back here live from the Vibe for episode 21 of the TWC Show. Clearly absent is Devon Lawler. He's not here this week, but we got a couple of guests. Here. First things first, because I already know you guys know who's on the screen. We got my cousin Jaden here.
I'm sure everyone knows me from
rocking the Wrestling Classic.
From that one video of me singing Kanye that you posted up.
Oh yeah, you were singing Kanye. Yeah. Ooh, can't sing Good Morning. But he's here to fill in for Devon. And then we got a very special guest who I've been wanting on the show since day one, but is finally here to do the thing. Mrs. Lady Kane herself. Yes, the original Lady Kane. AJ, KeepMe. You might know her on Instagram. Welcome. How are you?
Doing pretty good. Thanks for having me. Sorry I couldn't be there.
I know. It would have been nice if you drove up, but that's okay. Now I got both of you here. All three of us are here, so that's a better thing. You're both watching Wrestling Classic. I just want to throw that out there first. Thank you. TWCshop.com if you guys want some Wrestling Classic gear. It is hoodie season. At least in Vancouver, it's hoodie season. We got AJ here modeling the sweater, her crop top hoodie. On the screen here, we got Jaden here in his red Wrestling Classic hoodie. Of course, I'm all chalk lined out. Ric Flair shirt from Pro Wrestling Tees, or somewhere. Maybe it was Pro Wrestling Tees. I don't remember. I think it was. But Chalkline Official, and I'm just gonna get it out of the way now. If you're looking to buy some Chalkline Official merch, they dropped a lot of the new stuff. The Outsider stuff is all out. Hulkamania jackets. They're dropping a dope Razor Ramon jacket tomorrow. Kind of like it's kind of inspired by the old t-shirt from the 90s. If you know what I'm talking about, that yellow one. Drake's wore that yellow t-shirt. Now they got a Chalkline jacket that's similar to that t-shirt. Obviously, they have all the Nickelodeon stuff, all the sports stuff. If you're a Hey Arnold fan, a Rugrats fan, and all that fan, they got all that stuff. They also got like Death Row and some hip-hop related merchandise as well. They got shorts, they got shoes, they got t-shirts, but the jackets are usually the thing you'll see everybody rocking all the time. They're a little flashy, but it surely gets people's attention when they see you wearing it. Just happened to us at Max right now. We went to get some energy drinks, and the dude was looking at my jacket like he was falling in love. So if you want to buy any Chalkline Official merchandise, whether it's this Ric Flair jacket or anything else, you can go to chalklineofficial.com and you can use my promo code TWC15. You only get that promo code by listening to this show, and it'll save you 15%. So check out chalklineofficial.com.
I should have worn my Bret Hart jacket too.
You could have. But I'm glad you're wearing the TWC shop stuff because that makes me a little bit more happier. And before we move on and really start the show, I'm going to just get this one out of the way, too, to my folks at Maestros Classic. They're the best in the beard game. Maestros Classic is the best in beard care and is undeniably good at keeping your beard clean and conditioned. It's sulfate-free beard wash to clean the beard without drying your skin, and beard butter to condition it, and beard oil to help it shine. I use it all the time. You guys can tell if you've been watching this show week by week, my beard's getting bigger and bigger, but it's still fresh. It feels great. It shapes nicely, and that's all because of Maestros Classic. They are the licensed barbers and groomers for the WWE, for the 76ers, for NASCAR. They did a whole bunch of stuff with Mark Henry over the past weekend where they were doing some nonprofit stuff and had a Mark Henry and Kane show up. It's super cool, man. Maestros Classic is always making a difference, not just in the beard game, but just in the world generally. So support them. You can buy this stuff in Target if you're in the United States. But if you want to buy any of their beard care stuff or their merchandise, you can buy it on maestrosclassic.com and use my promo code TWC Maestro, and you'll save yourself 25%. So you want to save yourself some money, use that promo code. Also, shout out to Visionpros if you need glasses, sunglasses, eyeglasses, contacts, any of that stuff. Go to visionpros.com or visionpros.ca and use my promo code VP Classic and save yourself 25% there too. I always recommend you go into a store, try on the glasses, see how they look, and then if you know what you want to get, then go to visionpros.com if you're in America, visionpros.ca if you're in Canada. Use the promo code VP Classic, get that pair of glasses or shades, prescribed or not, and save yourself 25% by using the promo code VP Classic. We got all that out of the way. I don't have to do any of that for the rest of the show. We can just talk wrestling. How are you guys doing? Appreciate you guys sitting through that.
Take a breath.
You're just a plug for everything.
Oh, man. I know.
Relax.
But, and also we got Cardillo over here and my Stone Cold beer. Can we talk about this for a second?
I saw that.
For 5 years, since I went to WrestleMania 32 in Dallas in 2016, I've wanted to try Stone Cold's Broken Skull IPA, okay? And I every time I've gone to the States, I've never had the opportunity to do it. I was in California for 6 months and I didn't do it. And it only sells in California. They only have it in California. They've slowly got into New York now, and they're slowly trying to move it up the West Coast through Oregon and Seattle and stuff, but it hasn't yet. And I put it on my story. I'm like, hey, you know what? I've been trying to drink this beer for 5 years. I really want to try it. I'm a beer drinker more than a hard drinker. And it's Stone Cold beer, so I really want to try it. And a couple people reached out to me like, hey, I can send it to you, this and that. But the actual company that brews the beer reached out to me. And they're like, yeah, we'll set you up with a care package. So next week I'm going to crack one of these open and I'm going to drink it when Devon's back. And they want me to do a little special Stone Cold video for them. So we'll do a little bit of that. But I just want to say shout out to those guys. If you want to try the Broken Skull IPA, you can get it in California and in places where it is available. Check out the brewing company, the name of the brewing company that Stone Cold's been working with. On Instagram, it's ESBC Brews. They're dope. They sent me a shirt. They sent me a whole bunch of stuff. I'll talk a lot more about it next week. But yeah, enough with the plugging. Like I said before, what's going on? I'm good. What's going on? How are you guys? How are you guys doing in the wrestling? What have you guys watched this week? It's TLC week. You know it's TLC this Sunday, right?
Yeah.
I do. I know that.
Are you excited?
I wish I were more excited. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Are you excited, Jaden?
I mean, it's all right.
So it's a fun pay-per-view.
I mean, if I paid more attention this week, maybe I'd be like a lot.
So I got two people who didn't pay that much attention this week, but I'm going to guide you through the week, and you guys give me your opinions on how you feel about things. This is normal for AJ. It happens a lot. For Jaden, it's also pretty normal. He watches wrestling at the gym. That's usually where he catches it.
I time it perfectly. I go there around 5 o'clock, do my cardio.
And just watches wrestling. And that's his dose of wrestling. I don't know.
That's it.
Or whatever or as for both of you, whatever you guys see on my page, that's how it goes, right?
I mean, it still counts. Still counts.
I'm excited for TLC. But before we get to that, actually, I want to ask both of you, because it's coming here, and me and Devon talked about last week. Vancouver, February 14th, Valentine's Day. Smackdown Live or just Smackdown on Fox is coming to Rogers Arena here in Vancouver.
I'm going to be there.
Jaden's going to be there. You coming, AJ?
100% I'll be there.
You know, that's too far out for me to know what I'm going to be doing.
I think you and Lou and all you guys should come.
Oh, that'd be great.
And you guys should come on Valentine's Day and celebrate it up here with Justin. And go watch some wrestling, you know?
True. I'm still trying to figure out if I'm going to be going to Royal Rumble.
Ooh.
I think I'm going to do the Rumble and Mania.
Where's
and
Rumble
after that, I don't know. Rumble's in Houston.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, but it's so soon.
It is. It is kind of soon. I actually started looking at flights and stuff today just to know if I had to get on that. But last year's Rumble was fun. We were both there. Me and you went to Arizona for the Rumble. We all sat together. It was a good flash. We went together. We went to the show together, AJ.
No, I didn't know that I remember being there now, but I forgot that's what I was there for. Why don't I remember that?
I don't know. Maybe because you blocked that out of your memory.
I was so disappointed that Velveteen Dream didn't show up that I blocked it from my memory.
I surprised you there. Remember, I wasn't supposed to come and I just showed up at the bar?
Yeah, I do remember.
Of course,
that.
at the bar.
Yeah. Well, that's where we hung out. This is the arcade bar most of the time. If you're ever in Arizona, like, go to the arcade bar. I forget what it's called. I think it was like, I know it's like some sort of animal. Like a snake or a crocodile.
All I want to say is up, down, which it clearly isn't.
No. Well, Xavier Rhodes was partying there. The Usos were partying there. Samoa Joe. That's where I met Shinsuke. Daivari's brother was there.
I beat Tony Nese
Arya
at that
Daivari.
2v2.
Oh, yeah. You beat Tony Nese and I didn't record it. I just watched.
And you didn't take a video. You were
I just watched him playing beating Tony Nese at Pac-Man. I didn't even do anything about it. But, it was a blast. So, yeah, Rumble's something that's on my list. And definitely WrestleMania this year in Tampa. Speaking about WrestleMania in Tampa, how do you guys feel about what the announcement that broke a couple of days ago? The first inductees to the Hall of Fame are Dave Batista and NWO. I'm going to throw it to you, Jaden, first. How do you feel? Dave Batista and NWO
hyped.
Going to the Hall of Fame?
I was hyped.
I'm a big Batista fan. Anyone that knows me knows I was a huge Batista fan.
I mean, what was Batista's last run?
With Triple H right now.
With Evolution guys, right?
No, it was with Triple H this year.
Was this year?
He fought Triple H at WrestleMania. The whole give me what I want situation.
Yeah, I remember. Okay. I mean, he should have had a better run.
No, he wanted to close it with Triple H. This is his last ever match. He's never going to wrestle again. So I think it's fitting that he goes in the Hall of Fame if he's never going to wrestle again.
Yeah, who do you think is going to induct him? Flair?
Triple H.
Triple H, you think so?
He always looks at Triple H as his mentor and his guy. So I see Triple H being the one to induct him. How about you, AJ? Batista? How do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of just makes sense. I mean, the first ones they announce are like always, they kind of just make total sense. They're not super surprising or a big deal.
I was surprised they announced it so early because usually they start announcing the Hall of Fame inductees around the Rumble and a little bit after. I think they might have done it to kind of maybe sell tickets and make sure people are excited to go to the Hall of Fame.
I mean, it worked though because like those are two pretty big inductees too. Usually they'll creep it out a little bit.
Yeah,
they'll stretch it out, but they just threw it right out.
They threw two big ones out, two headliners. The NWO.
Yeah, but it's a group induction. Aren't they separately already in the Hall of Fame?
So Kevin Nash is already inducted. This is his second ring. Scott Hall was inducted as Razor Ramon. I don't know what difference that makes, but this is his second ring.
Yeah.
Hogan's obviously was inducted in 05, and this is his second ring. X-Pac has been inducted, but with DX, and now he's been inducted with the NWO, but he's never really been inducted alone. But
that's interesting.
We've moved far away from Ric Flair being the only two-time Hall of Famer for so many years, with him being inducted alone and the Four Horsemen. Now we have Bret Hart, who's a two-time Hall of Famer as a single person as the Hart Foundation. We have Shawn Michaels as a two-time Hall of Famer as Shawn Michaels in the DX. Now we got a whole bunch of two-time Hall of Famers, which kind of makes me sad because I do want to see new people inducted, like the British Bulldog, or who else hasn't been inducted yet that should be inducted? There's a ton of people that's on the top of my head, but British Bulldog's one of those guys I think should be inducted. I don't know if Bam Bam Bigelow's already in there.
But considering that they already like dished out two like big names, do you think like the rest of the inductee class is gonna be like whatever?
Not whatever. It's just those are the headliners.
Do you think it's just gonna be like all stacked inductees?
I think it'll be stacked inductees. I'm like we could still have like.
Pretty great if X-Pac eventually is inducted in, or Sean Waltman as like.
Or like maybe like 1, 2, 3
time for what you did.
That'd be amazing.
It'd be so silly. It'd be so funny just for that. But like.
I don't know who's gonna induct him. I would think like Eric Bischoff maybe, or Sting, or somebody that was around for the WCW stuff. I want to see Christian going. Hopefully Christian gets.
That'd be sick. That'd be
yeah. We've been saying for so long.
Long overdue. The Hardy Boys, the guys that can go in, they're not in there yet. There's so many people that could be in there. The Dudley Boys went up and they invited the Hardys to the stage and stuff. But there's so many people that aren't in the Hall of Fame that could be in there. I know Bulldog's one of those people I want in there. The Hardy Boys, Christian, just so many people. Miss Elizabeth could go in there. As a female, what female inductee do you think is going in this year?
That'd be sick, yeah.
Do you think they'll do China alone? Do you think they'll do Sable? Sable's long overdue.
I 100% agree. We've talked about this before. I 100% think Sable should be inducted.
100%.
Yeah.
Who else could be in there?
I mean, my favorite female wrestler is besides like Lita and stuff, is Stephanie, and I don't think that's ready to happen yet.
I don't know if they're into that anytime
soon.
There's others that people kind of overlook. Like we've had people like Ivory and stuff going. Like maybe Jazz, maybe
Ivory was great.
Ivory already did go in, but like there's always people like that. Like Tori Wilson went in last year. What about Stacy Keibler? What about?
Yeah, but I feel like they won't do Stacy because Stacy won't care.
I mean, she came to induct Tori. She wanted to be there for that. Sable's a big one. I think she's still alive. She's married to Brock. I don't know why they don't pull the trigger on that. She like defined a generation of.
Well, I think that might be another thing where Sable doesn't want it.
Maybe.
But who doesn't want a Hall of Fame ring though?
Some people just don't.
Really?
Some people have denied going in for a year. Savage didn't want to go in for years. He's like, I'm not going unless the rest of my family goes in.
Relationship with them.
Yeah. I'm trying to think because there has to be a female this year. There's always a female every year. There's a token female and a token dead person every year.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah,
there is. And I'm hoping it's Bulldog this year.
Be like, excuse me, but you're right.
I hope it's Davey Boy this year. I just don't know who the female's gonna be.
Lena Vachon's gone in. They could kill two birds with one stone and have a dead female go in, but
like China, they could do China alone.
That would be actually. Would that be better to do China alone the year after? Or wait.
I would wait maybe like another year because it's just a DX with her.
I think right after might kind of be like, we hear you, and that's why this is happening.
Another one that might not be a popular opinion but could go in is like Vicky Guerrero. She did a lot for the time she was there.
But she's on AEW now, so I highly doubt that.
I mean, she was there for like 1 week. Who else hasn't gone? There's another female on there. Oh, this one might piss a lot of people off, and I saw it as a joke meme on Instagram, but could actually be a real life thing. And you know, we've seen guys retire and be inducted the year after, like Edge and whatnot. I think it would piss off a lot of people, but like you can't really rule out if they actually are retired. You can't really rule out the Bella Twins.
Oh yeah.
Like I know a lot of people. There's a lot of hate for them, but
who's the youngest person ever inducted into the Hall of Fame though?
Huh?
Who's the youngest person ever inducted?
I mean, they put Beth Phoenix in before she's not as like hasn't. You know what I mean? Like. The
but
youngest?
How old is she?
I think.
Yeah, I feel like the Bellatons would be the youngest.
I don't think so. Oh, maybe. Edge was pretty young when he retired, I think. Well, the Bellatons like 35 now? 36?
Yeah, around there, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. But I think that might make a lot of people mad. But anyways, I'm excited for the NWO. I kind of wish it was just Hall, Nash, and Hogan.
Ooh, I got an idea. What if it's AJ Lee?
Yeah, but I don't know.
That would be crazy. It wouldn't make any sense though. But
yeah, how do you feel about that? I NWO having X-Pac in it as well, because I thought it could have, should have, maybe just been Hall, Nash, Hogan.
Like the originals, right?
Yeah.
It was so much better.
Yeah.
So much better.
But maybe they figured that would just cause more.
Because then shouldn't you have the Giant, aka the Big Show, there, and Ted DiBiase, because they both were in the NWO before Six was.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
I don't want to be like that nitpicky guy, but let's be real here.
Yeah.
And then if I really was gonna induct the NWO, then hell, throw Savage in there too again. Like, why not? I don't know, but anyways, that's just my opinion. Speaking of people that will let go, they released Luke Harper, the Ascension, and Sin Cara. Sin Cara, this might sound harsh. I kind of forgot he was there sometimes.
Yeah. Same with the Ascension too.
The Ascension, I'm a fan of. They were great. They just never recovered from being compared to the Road Warriors when they first came to the main roster and getting buried. I don't care what anyone says. That's what happened. They were compared to the Road Warriors, and then they got canned, and they just never got. Yeah. They never recovered from that.
They were doing backstage stuff with Tyler Breeze.
No, the Breezango stuff was fun, but after that, was the last time they were relevant. To be honest,
that's the funny though. That's some good
stuff.
But
that was the last time, and they're really talented. Both guys, Connor and Victor, they're really talented people. They're really cool people, but it's a bummer that they're gone now.
Are they gonna go to? What do you think they can go to, like AEW or something?
I don't know. Maybe. I do want to see. The biggest one that kind of hit me was Luke Harper. I think Luke Harper was a very talented big guy who I'm not going to say was underrated, but really underappreciated maybe. He could do so much. He had so much potential. There's so many stories that could have won with them.
His run with the IC title was sick.
Yeah, and they just brought him back with Eric Rowan, and them together was great. And then they drafted them on 2 different shows, and Luke Harper's gone again. He's one of those big guys they had. Like, he was a good wrestler too. He had a look. He had a character. He actually didn't need to be. He didn't need to be tied with Bray to be important. Like Eric Rowan, to be honest with you, needs to be with somebody for me to care about him.
Easy.
Every time Eric Rowan was with Harper, I cared. Rowan was with Wyatt, I cared. Harper, I liked alone. Harper could have been a single guy. Matches. Yeah, matches with Dolph Ziggler, Kofi Kingston, like bangers. Randy Orton, Cena, like Luke Harper was good.
Yeah, Rowan's just they came back in that match they had when Xavier Woods. I don't even remember the spot, but I just remember that match being so brutal.
When they were the Bludgeon Brothers, or yeah, even that stuff was cool. And unfortunately, a lot of the time Harper's runs got derailed because they'd put him back with Eric Rowan, and Rowan would get hurt. And then next thing you know, Rowan's still there and Harper's gone. So it's kind of a bummer. He did request his release months ago, and they didn't give it to him. They didn't grant it, but now they finally released him. I don't really care where he goes. I'd love to see him in Japan. I think it would be dope. I don't care where he goes, and wherever he goes, I'm gonna enjoy it. So whether he goes to Japan, that would be sweet. I think he'd actually really have a good run in Japan for a bit. If he shows up at AEW,
I think he'll go AEW easy.
I know people will be like, oh, another WWE guy there, but I would pop to see him in AEW and be a prominent star on there. I hope he doesn't change his look. I like the big beard and the big hair though. I like his look.
And the jeans and the boots.
I remember hearing on a podcast that he does his hair like that half up to cover his bald spot, and he was so cute. I'm not saying that to be rude to him, and the way he described it was so humbling and nice and cute, almost very sweet.
Dude, he is the nicest guy ever in every podcast or anything I've heard. He's just a genuinely nice guy. He's in his 30s. He still has a couple of runs in him, I think, if he goes anywhere else.
Have you ever met him?
I've met him at WrestleMania, one of the Access things years ago, but he's just in Dallas. He's cool, man. Okay. He's a sweet dude. I wish him the best. I want to see him do crazy. I was a big fan of him. In the video games, in real life, watching him on TV. I don't know. Luke Harper's the one I think I'm the most upset about. The Ascension, I hope they kill it. Sin Cara, I don't know. I was never really a big Sin Cara fan, but Luke Harper though, that one hit home.
I mean, Sin Cara was cool.
He was cool.
When he first debuted, he was whatever, but
they got so many guys.
When they switched it up though,
they got Rey Mysterio's back. They got Kalisto.
But he has legendary botches that people have not forgotten.
When he broke his finger and just ended the whole match.
He was known for a lot of his botches, and he was the first one with an ugly light before Bray Wyatt's red light.
Yeah.
You remember those?
Yeah, it was dimmed out, right?
Yeah, that weird gold purplish light. It was weird times, man. But yeah, so we touched on those things. Let's talk about a couple of things I want to talk about on SmackDown. I'm going to throw it at you. You guys tell me your opinion. The whole dog food angle with Baron Corbin. AJ, how do you feel?
That was probably the worst thing.
That created so many vegetarians.
They were just spilling dog food on him. That was this whole big dog thing and playing to it. I don't know, man, how I feel about it.
I mean, it was funny when they brought out the guy dressed up in the dog costume.
I didn't think that was funny either.
It was kind of funny.
That was mad cringe.
I just feel like I know this doesn't sound so like weird, but like if it was happening on Raw, I think I'd let it slide more. But it's happening on Fox, and I feel like there's more casual viewers that are probably watching this on Fox, so they don't watch wrestling that's on Fox. That if they're seeing this big dog and dog food, they're like, oh, wrestling's so weird. This is happening on Raw and USA. Maybe I wouldn't care as much. But the fact that's happening where I know there's probably sports fans watching, there's probably like Simpsons fans watching, there's probably, Fox News people watching that never watch wrestling anymore. And this is the opportunity to grab new wrestling fans. And what you see is a dog coming out dressed in a mascot dog. And you see a dog food being, and you're like, oh, this is wrestling. This is not what I remember when I might have used to watch it.
That's I go fully along with that. I will bandwagon that. Because I don't think it's like
horrible, because we've seen worse. But I mean, like, if you're on Fox, like, let's try to focus more on the good stuff and the wrestling. There's better stuff happening on Raw than's happening on SmackDown. Like, SmackDown should be getting a little bit better stuff because you're on Fox. You're not on USA.
Quote it.
But that's how I feel.
If I told you a year ago that you would be saying that, would you have believed it?
No. Like the spilling dog food on the big dog. Lacey Evans as a babyface. I don't know why, but I'm digging it.
That was sick. She thugged out Sasha, dude.
Yeah.
That was sick.
And I like the fact that they're using her background in the military and stuff to kind of pump Lacey up. And I'm, once again, personal opinion, a little bias, a lot bias. Sasha seems like the star that should be feuding Lacey with the belt, and Bayley feels like an afterthought. Personal opinion.
Per usual.
Like, Sasha comes out there. Maybe it's because I'm biased and I'm not a huge Bayley fan. I love Sasha.
Yeah.
She seems like the star, and Bayley's just standing in the background. That's how I feel. Bayley?
Yeah, I never will get the appeal of. So many people love Bayley, and I feel the same way about Dakota Kai too. Like, so many people love that vibe, and I never sells me. I'm always more in line with someone who, especially a female, who is more along like a badass, does messed up things, but like I can still see them as a good guy.
Let me bring this up because you brought up Dakota Kai. So I said yesterday, just to like stir the pot for fun, or the day before yesterday, that I said heel Dakota Kai is greater than heel Bayley. And someone in the comment section, here, this could be the interesting Instagram comment of the week, guys. Here's the segment. Interesting Instagram comment of the week. So just because I never really share my full opinions on my page, I usually share them on the show. I randomly did that. I was just like, heel Dakota Kai is better than heel Bayley. And I get a comment from someone. And I want you to see where you guys stand on this both. Give me 1 second. Why are you comparing the two? They spelled two wrong. It's TWO, not TOO. Both aren't similar in any way. That's like me saying heel Lesnar is greater than heel Sasha. Okay? I came back and I'm like, okay. Both were super baby faces that turned heel recently. I like Dakota's heel turn better than Bayley's, as Bayley's was definitely a nice change. And I put definitely caps lock because it was a nice change, but doesn't seem to be leading anywhere the way Dakota's does. This person came back. I mean, Dakota's turn had no reasoning behind it. She had lost a few matches. Then she turned on the person who was helping her, not the person who was taunting her. And then she looked weak since the turn and even wore the team kick gear. She can obviously turn it around, but Dakota's turn has been as bad as Sasha's, in which they've looked weaker since it. So this is a Sasha fan. And listen, I will agree that there were parts of Sasha's thing that was... So this is what I said, okay? I'm like, okay, first things first. I'm like, she felt betrayed, Dakota, and belittled for being left off the team at War Games. She felt like her friend joined the team and did nothing to show that she felt different than the other girls who said she wasn't good enough. And she was just okay with being, and her friend seemed like she was just okay with her friend being canned from the team. Since then, she holds Tegan's knee brace as a symbol of her new attitude. Of course, she's not supposed to look super strong as of yet because heels aren't supposed to. She'll pick up sneaky wins, and her attitude will prove to everyone. She has this attitude to prove everybody wrong. I agree with you that the team kick gear, though, like she needs to change her gear. That needs to go. Sasha's heel turn is great up until realigning with Bayley, which I think is what hurt Bayley's turn too, because them together, Sasha looks like a bigger star. Bayley doesn't feel like individual. And now Sasha's heel turn, the greatest thing about it is Sasha came back and she was so hungry to get the title, and now she's just Bayley's friend again. Them being together ruined both of their runs as heels, in my mind, personally. Yeah. It was cool to see. Yeah, and it was cool to see Bayley turn heel at first. But then now that they're just together and they're just friends again, like, Sasha stands out more than Bayley, so Bayley's an afterthought. But at the same time, Bayley's the champion, and Sasha doesn't even seem like she cares about being like the top bad bitch again. Now she's just Bayley's friend. And I'm like, and I was like, Bayley's turn started off great, but she was the least important in the triple threat at the Survivor Series. Like Becky and Shayna stood out more, and now all I want to see is Sasha take the belt from her rather than her have it at all. Then anyways, went back and forth a bit. Some people agree with me. Someone called me really biased because obviously I'm gonna be a Sasha fan. But do you guys agree with me that Dakota's heel turn seems just better than Bayley's? Obviously, hasn't gone for that long, but it just makes more sense. There's depth to it. Bayley turned heel, and instantly was aligned with Sasha, and both of them kind of have been just doing nothing, really. In my opinion.
Oh, totally. I mean, I think the main thing is, like, especially for, like, two people like me and Jaden who are not watching that much, and it's like, what's the takeaway here? The takeaway for Dakota Kai's turn is that brutal attack on the new Lady Kane and her knee brace that she carries around. So we get to see this physical thing of a knee brace. Yeah. What do we have for Bayley? A haircut. We see a haircut. Like, those are, one is like your fallen friend's knee brace versus your new bob. Like, that's, I think, a perfect representation
like Bayley's
of
music changes. She got a haircut and she's not with like happy, huggy Bayley no more. But she has no motive. You know what I mean?
Nothing.
The motive was that nobody takes her seriously. She was in the backseat to Becky and this and that. And she still is in the backseat to Becky and them. When that triple threat happened in Survivor Series, Bayley was the least important person, even though they tried to make her feel important, going to attack people at NXT and stuff. I'm like, I still think Becky's Becky. She is the man. And I think everyone's more intrigued to see Becky versus Shayna one day than they're ever going to be intrigued to see Bayley versus any of these girls.
Oh, no, I only ever want to see Bayley versus Sasha. Like,
yeah, and that's what we want. So let's have Sasha turn on Bayley. Bayley, if they're going to keep Bayley a heel.
Forever.
My thing is that I just think Bayley's turn, I'm like, it was cool when it happened. It was cool to see her turn bad. It's cool to see his new look. But she's not doing anything. Even this whole Lacey feud feels like a Sasha versus Lacey feud more than a Bayley versus Lacey feud. Lacey knocked out Sasha. Bayley stood there. Lacey and Sasha got in beef this week, and Bayley came out to raise Sasha's hand. Who's feuding? Who's the champion here? It's weird. That's just my opinion. I think the only other thing I want to talk about on SmackDown when it comes to that is I'm really happy that the revival of the number one contenders, again, for the New Day. I was really upset when they lost titles to New Day. I'm a big revival fan. I'm a big New Day fan, but I always think the New Day are so over, they don't need the belts. I think it's so unnecessary when they have the belts.
They're sick without belts either, man.
They just don't need them. They're over.
They're just good in general.
And they're going to stay over. And they're funny. And they're great. I think it was their way to say Kofi lost the belt, never got a rematch, just put the tag titles on him.
Yeah, how come he never got a rematch?
He doesn't want a rematch. If you listen to the New Day podcast, he's like, oh, my character is one of those people that doesn't need a rematch, this and that. And I think it was just kind of filler because Big E's like, I was mad about it. I thought he should have had a rematch, this and that, blah, blah, blah. But he's like, Kofi's a different type of guy. He just thinks his character doesn't need that. Like that. You can't take away the run Kofi had. It was great, but I do think it's kind of crappy that, you know, he's just out of the title picture and now he's back to the tag team title scene and that's it.
They should at least give him a rematch, but then if he didn't want the title, just lose that match.
Yeah.
Have a good match out of it, though.
I think so. Kofi versus Brock properly.
Called that ages ago, though.
What?
I think we've said that before on live, that like we really thought that at some point Brock was just going to come in and take it in a way that we were all just like, well,
we all kind of we did predict that Brock would be the guy to take it off Kofi. That was something I did predict. We talked about on live, but the way it happened, I wasn't a huge fan of. That's just, I think, the thing that really came.
It's something I think we've said in like a watch WWE do this and thinking like they won't, but they did.
And the worst thing is, and when we get to Raw, talk about is the fact that there is no champion there, and everyone's kind of feuding with no goal to go after the champion. Because how are you supposed to try to go after someone who's not there and supposedly not going to come around till the Rumble? And I love Brock. I do think Brock's an attraction. Yeah. I do think Brock serves a purpose, and he is someone that when you go to live shows, he's fun to see. His matches are fun to watch. I just hate it when he's the champ.
But the matches are always kind of the same thing.
No, but if you've gone to a live show and you've seen Brock, that guy's music hits.
It's the pop.
People stand up and shit. Like, you're like, he's an attraction. He's Brock Lesnar. And I'm okay with that. I just don't like it when he's the champ. That's just my opinion. I don't know.
Part-time champion type of thing.
But other than that, SmackDown, Elias, Fina, Drake, it's kind of weird. Great to see Alexa Bliss back in the mix. Their feud with Mandy Rose and whatnot. Sheamus is coming back. I'm excited for that. My boy Shamey, he's coming back. He's cutting promos. He kind of looks like he looks. His mohawk's gone. He's looking kind of like
his beard's on point though.
Old school Shamey, Maestro Classic on the beard. Okay. But yeah, Sheamus is coming back. I'm excited for that. How do you guys feel about Sheamus?
I mean, Sheamus is sick. He's always been good, man.
Can we talk about something that in the last decade, like from 2010 to 2020, like Sheamus has done so much, and I think it just flies over our head. Like, he's a former WWE champion. He's a former world champion. He held it down for SmackDown for the years I wasn't watching. He was like the top SmackDown guy. He's a multiple-time tag team champion with Cesaro and others. He did the whole League of Nations thing. He's won every belt. He's won a Royal Rumble. He's beat John Cena. He's done all these things in this past decade. And it's weird to think that a decade is 2010 and now, because it's just weird. But he's one of the most a star with a lot of accolades in the past decade compared to anyone. The only thing he's never won, and which I think he's going to want to try to do when he comes back, is the Intercontinental Championship. That's the only belt he's never won. He's won Money in the Bank. He's won the Rumble. He's won every title besides the Intercontinental title. I just think people don't appreciate Sheamus for how good he really is, and I think it took me a while to get there too. But looking back,
I'm back as a competitor.
Pardon?
What do you think he's going to come back as a singles competitor?
Oh, he's coming back as a singles guy.
He's going to be reunited with.
I think we're getting the Celtic Warrior back. He's coming after the IC title. Again, a feud with him and Shinsuke. I'm for it. I'm ready for it.
He should definitely do another tag run too with Cesaro.
I think it'll happen. I think eventually they'll get back together. The fact that Cesaro's around Shinsuke right now, and Sheamus is probably going to come back and go after Shinsuke, it's an interesting mix.
That's an easy win for Sheamus, though.
You never know. Get him that IC strap.
How you about Shinsuke jumping around?
What do you mean?
Like, wasn't he on NXT or something?
Everyone was invading NXT at a point. It was before Survivor Series. Yeah. Shows how much you were watching.
Or I guess just he's not really doing much right now, is he?
He's with Sammy. They're doing the thing. They were trying to get Brian to join them, but it hasn't happened. But that's what was going on. Speaking of Brian, he's out. Last time we saw Brian, he was dragged into the ring by the Fiend, and his hair was being ripped out. And we haven't seen Brian since. Now the Miz is facing Bray Wyatt at TLC, but we'll get to that. But I'm intrigued to see if Brian's coming back, and is he going to be a different person? Could he just turn babyface again? Are we going to see a clean-shaven, bald Brian? Like, what are we going to get when he comes back?
That's going to be like when you first debuted. He's all clean-shaven.
Yeah, like, what Brian are we going to get? Like, I don't know.
I mean, the NXT Brian.
Raw. Let's talk about Raw really quickly. I think the biggest things that stands out to me is the whole segment that went through the first couple of hours between Seth Rollins and the AOP and Kevin Owens. We've been waiting for this, man. We've been waiting for this Seth heel turn. And they did it in the best way. They did it in the best 1997 Bret Hart whining and complaining way, where he's saying, I'm a good guy, but what's wrong with you people? Like, why don't you guys see it? I would kill myself in that ring. Is something along the lines of that. And you people still wouldn't appreciate it. Like, how do you guys feel about it? Because I've always said, like, we've been saying for it. Like, usually we say things and we want it and they don't give it to us, but they gave it to us. We've wanted Seth to turn heel. We've been saying Seth has been coming off as, like, to be honest, me and Devon have been saying he's been coming off as a dork for the last few months. And now it's no, he's been coming off as a dork. Like, just on Twitter, on television. He's just been coming off as this very unlikable person. And now he's in a role where he's supposed to be an unlikable person again. And usually when you're a really good heel, the fans tend to cheer for you again. But I think this is cool, man. It's cool to see that he's actually, they tease this AOP thing and then now it's a thing. How do you feel?
I mean, it's solid.
You think it's solid?
That's solid, dude.
Like, in the way they did it, too. The way that they had Owens get attacked by AOP and then Seth come out of the truck and take his hood off. And then they came out and cut that promo. I don't know, man. It's a good use of the AOP. How do you feel, AJ?
I mean, I think at first, I've had to say a little bit at first. I think I even said in your comment section maybe that I think I prefer heel turns in front of in front of the audience.
Yeah.
So that it has an impact.
You did say that.
But again, ultimately, I think, Seth is so much better as a heel. He just isn't likable, but him being unlikable is very appealing.
It is.
More so than when
he makes a good slimy, sneaky, untrustworthy human. That's why his 2014-15 run was so fun.
When he went corporate, right?
Yeah, when he was with the Authority. And then he was a good babyface when he first turned babyface. But realistically, a lot of his babyface years were really boring. He was really good matches, banger of matches, great match after great match, winning titles and that. But he always just came off as like, And then this run where he beat Brock and stuff. About
of his laughter, do not think that guy's a heel.
And he never comes off. He never comes off humble on Twitter or anything. He comes off as a heel. He is the corporate guy. He is the Authority guy. He just is. He's pro WWE.
Bring back that gimmick. Put him in some fitted suits and yes, please.
The AOP's wearing suits. Put Seth back in suits. Let's have this be a thing.
I can't wait.
And I'd actually be happy to see Seth get the title back like this. Like, you know?
Instead of having like J&J Security, he's got that AOP.
He's got AOP now. And AOP, like, you know, Razor and
damage, though. They can do some damage.
You know, they're actually guys that you think would come out there and kick somebody's ass. And that's great. Yeah. So I'm happy about that. We talked about this briefly off the air, but how did you guys feel about the SNL weekend update little segment they had with the Street Profits? I love the Street Profits.
I missed that, dude.
I think that's super entertaining. You got to check it out. How do you feel, AJ? I know you have some. I liked it. I thought it's interesting if they do this weekly. It's a cool little segment they can do. Hopefully they get better week by week. Like, obviously the first time is not always going to be the best, but there was some stuff that was kind of cheesy. Because there was stuff that was kind of cheesy. I thought the whole like Fiend and Mist thing wasn't funny, and those other things that weren't funny, but
yeah,
I like the Street Profits.
Planned well, and it was just too hokey.
They're plugging Disney Plus.
Yeah, there were just some cringe moments for me that I couldn't deny, and I could feel my eyes watering up for how embarrassing it was. Yeah, didn't love it. See what they're doing. Whatever.
I want to see where it goes week from week. The other thing we kind of touched on is how Rusev's shirts have been great. His Donald Duck shirt this week was awesome. He wore a Bloodsport shirt a couple of weeks ago. I don't know who his stylist is, but the one thing you can say about whoever's styling him is at least it's unique to him. And that's the thing that's missing. We've talked about this so many times. AJ, I want your opinion on this for sure. How annoying is it when you just see wrestlers all the time and all they're wearing is their own T-shirts or their wrestling gear, and like that's the style you see from them when they have such an influence on people. Like, we see NBA stars backstage and they're all dressed and sponsored by brands, so they're repping their brands. And that's just them walking from the parking lot to the locker rooms before a basketball game. And that makes such a big deal. Wrestling can do the same thing, but instead, they just, majority of the time when they're on television, they're wearing their own T-shirts, they're wearing their own wrestling gear. They don't really have styles, and I think that's something that you could really put in wrestling, because wrestling fans are really influenced. Mostly younger wrestling fans are really influenced from the wrestlers they look up to.
I mean, the T-shirt caught everyone's eye, even in the
comment section.
No, in their Flick Chat.
Flick Chat, yeah.
Everyone was losing it
about the T-shirt.
The Donald Duck T-shirt.
Just about how Rusev's T-shirts go catching everyone's eyes in the Flick Chat.
That was the first thing everyone
had. We'll see how that goes moving forward, though. Yeah.
We're just naming new it's wrong.
No. The other thing I want to talk about really quickly about Raw, besides Rusev's shirts, and we'll talk about the Rusev Lana storyline when we get to our TLC predictions. Liv Morgan's getting a makeover. She's coming back. The promo videos just showed a bunch of old Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan's been off social media. Her profile pictures have been blacked out. She's posted some cryptic things.
That Emelina release.
Yeah, we thought that she was going to come be a part of the Wyatt family. That wasn't the case. She had a video package played for her on Raw saying Liv Morgan returns with a makeover coming soon. What do we expect from Liv Morgan?
Hold on, though. Timeout. Zach Morris, timeout. Do you remember when we thought Sister Abigail was going to be Paige's return?
Oh, 100% for years. Everyone thought that. Can we just talk about the fact that would make no sense, though? That means Bray would have known Paige forever, so she just came back to Sister Abigail. Every time people would say that, I'm like, you guys know that makes no sense. It needs to be someone brand spanking new, because they can't be someone that just comes back to Sister Abigail.
I mean, they can change characters. Back then, people would completely change characters.
But you would know it's Paige. Paige is a very unique individual. She stands out in a crowd.
Why wouldn't you believe that Paige had a secret, like, creepy demon inside of her? Everyone would go directly. If you've seen Total Divas, everyone would be like, oh yeah, that's
situations like that make no sense. And let's move on from Raw, and I'll tell you why situations like that don't make sense.
Okay.
What in the blue hell is Brandy Rhodes?
Which one are we talking about?
What in the blue hell is Brandy Rhodes? What is Brandy Rhodes? So what in the blue hell is Brandy Rhodes? She went from being Cody's valet. Her husband is a super over baby face, and she's this dark, weird lady cutting people's hair, trying to make people join her nightmare club or whatever the hell it's called. literally insulting the entire women's division in a matter of seconds in one promo.
That sounds so dumb. I'm so glad I missed that.
And she's not a good actress. And I'm an AEW fan. I'm not even sitting here trying to trash AEW. But this Brandy Rhodes stuff isn't good. And she's someone who was someone totally normal and just went to this big dark character like you're saying Paige could have just done. It doesn't work.
Yeah. I mean, she's not... The thing is, sometimes Brandy really delivers when she most of what she does is cut promos, right? And half the time they're really good, but then the other time they're just like, I'm just confused. Like, clearly your cadence is really good, but I don't know what you're set, like where you're going with it. It just never seems to lead anywhere. And then we start over from the beginning of a new thing. I'm like, okay, Brandy, speaking well, get it, but where are you taking us? I don't know.
And I feel like she cares way too much about the internet. Because she's always referring to things that fans say about on the internet. Like, oh, I'm just Cody's wife. And this is that. Like, stop doing that. Like, be your character. Just go with it. Like, stop trying to, like, I feel like she's always trying to prove herself to the fans. Like, I'm my own person. But I'm going to name my group the Nightmare Collective, which is after my husband. And I'm going to be this dark persona. And
you know what I also think? I think she's much better when she has to speak to another wrestler directly. Remember her and MJF going back and forth?
Those are better because good chemistry.
That was so good.
I know, it's really weird.
She's her say the camera, it's weird.
I'm still giving it a chance. If Devon was here, he'd really be, telling me how much it sucks. But I'm going to...
Devon to rip that thing apart.
Yeah, he's not a Brandy Rhodes fan at all. I'm still giving it a chance. We'll see where it goes. I like Awesome Kong. I hope to see her more involved with it. I don't know who the man was that was bald that was sitting there. I don't know if it's someone that joined the Nightmare Collective or if it was just something they did for the scene.
No, I think it's... Okay, I have a guess that's definitely wrong because I don't know... I mean, Justin, but for everyone else, all of my guesses are always wrong, but I like it that way. I like just not knowing what's actually going to happen. But it kind of looked like if you were to shave Gangrel, it'd be Gangrel.
Gangrel's another guy that should go in the Hall of Fame, by the way.
Is he not?
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
He'd be a good guy for the Hall of Fame. But
what if they rooted, but like it's like Christian as a group? People would be pissed.
Christian deserves his own entrance in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
One more match, baby. But no, man. I don't know about the Brandy thing. The other things that stood out to me on AEW, MJF's promo is obviously good. MJF nails it every week. Maybe I'm biased there again, but I just think if someone knows their character very well, knows what they're doing, for a 22-year-old kid, he's got it down.
He blows my mind.
He's like one of the most interesting people on that show every week. What else do I have written down here? Jericho and Moxley. I love how Jericho brought up the previous feud in the WWE. I know that might piss off some people, like, oh, they're always talking about the WWE, but they have a history. You guys know they have a history. You guys all already know they had a feud in the WWE. Jericho used that as a way to try to build some camaraderie between the two of them and try to invite them into the inner circle. And they left at that, and I think that was pretty cool. I think that was a cool little, like, hey, man, we did all that stuff. You remember Mitch? You remember putting me through thumbtacks, and I know what you're all about. Why don't you just join me? I like that because eventually we know whatever the next pay-per-view is going to be, it's Moxley versus Jericho. But the slow build to that and Jericho trying to avoid having to face Moxley again, I like it. I dig it. The other thing I want to talk about on AEW, I can't even read this. Brandy Rhodes, I know. The Cody match was good. He taking on the Butcher and the Blade. I still don't know what the hell the Butcher and the Blade are all about. The Dark Order video promos have been good. I'm glad they're building a storyline of the Dark Order. Kenny Omega and Hangman, was it? No, who wrestled? Omega and Hangman versus Spears and Kip Sabian, I think it was, in a tag match. Solid tag match, good stuff. So happy to see Kip and Penelope Ford on TV. I'm a huge Penelope Ford fan, huge Kip fan. Seeing Penelope get to do her Karana, I think it was on Adam Page, was cool to see her get in there and do the thing because they really haven't been on Dynamite that much, those two.
Hey, was Hangman on any other indies wrestling at all?
Yeah, he's on Ring of Honor for years, New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Because I think the first time I watched it, he wrestled Pac.
He might have. No, so before AEW started, it was supposed to be Pac and Hangman at the first pay-per-view, but it didn't happen. So Hangman went and wrestled Pac in England at Rev Pro, I believe it was. And then they finally had a singles match when Pac finally came over. Yeah. Pac's the man.
He's solid. He's sick. I love him.
Every time Pac's on AEW, I enjoy the show more because I think Pac's the man. He's something like someone. Every time he's on, I like his look, his character, his promos. I'm like, this guy's great. And he wasn't actually on the show this week, but he did a backstage promo with Jennifer Decker challenging. I think it was either Hangman or Omega again for one more match, and I'm down for it because he's probably one of my favorite guys in the AEW roster as well, Pac. Other than that, how did it end? The Young Bucks fought Santana and Ortiz in a street fight. It was really fun.
That was good. Yeah.
A lot of spots, a lot of table stuff. Some stuff that was like, you knew it was kind of choreographed and whatnot, but it was fun at the end of the day. I thought AEW was fun this week.
Good. They were impressive.
Yeah, it was a fun match. It took a lot of bumps. Nick Jackson was supposedly had a flu and was laying on the locker room floor the entire day until the match came and went out there and did the thing, and you got to appreciate that. Jungle Boy vs. Jericho next week. I like what they're doing with Jungle Boy, giving him that rub, giving him that match with Jericho 10-minute challenge. Obviously, he's not going to go over, but it'll be fun to watch. I'm a Jungle Boy fan as well. And I think that's about it for...
Did you see him finally speak?
Huh?
Did you see when Jungle Boy finally spoke?
Yeah, last week, right?
Yeah.
It was good. Did you think he couldn't speak? They humanized him a lot.
Wait, I mean, Jungle Boy, he just, he doesn't ever speak on the mic. So
yeah,
that's
no, he doesn't.
what... And, he didn't really either. He kind of was just like, I'm going to kick your ass.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
And he got a mock win over Jericho when he, pinned him, and then Marco Stunt came and did the 3 count and had to be like, look, what we can do. But I'm intrigued. I'm looking forward to next week. I don't know, man. How do you feel about both of you? How do you guys feel about AEW so far? Because we've never really talked about it. How do you feel, Jaden? Let's start with you.
I love AEW. You know that.
You're a fan?
I'm a big fan of AEW.
Is it just because it's not WWE? What is it about AEW?
They do a lot more than WWE. They with just even the roster just stacked.
And it's a smaller roster.
Yeah, it's everything that's going on.
Because the WWE roster is stacked, but I think that's part of the problem. They have too much talent there.
Yeah, exactly.
That you're never happy with what anyone's doing because what about this guy? What about that guy? But this person. When AEW, you don't really do that because it's a full roster, but it's also not as big as the WWE's. There's people that weren't on the show this week. There's no SCU. There's no Lucha Brothers. There was you know what I mean? Joey Janela was there. He did something with Shawn Spears, but there's always people not on the show, and you're like, oh, AEW does have a big roster, but it also they utilize people properly. I feel like, and once again, I still think it's a wrestling buffet. You get a little bit of everything.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's not just one style, one thing. Sometimes you watch Raw and SmackDown stuff, and it's matches happening for no reason, and everyone's kind of cutting the same kind of promo because the writers are the ones writing the promos. Where AEW, a Cody promo is different from a Jericho promo, and a Jericho promo is different from an MJF promo, and a Luchasaurus promo is different. You know what I mean? So, it's a whole situation. How do you feel, AJ, about AEW? What are your initial thoughts? We watched a lot of the pay-per-views together, and we went to All In together when this all became a thing.
We're back in Chicago, right?
Yeah, so, how do you feel about AEW?
Yeah, I guess I was trying to figure out the right way to say is, there's not, as I've been watching AEW, it hasn't been amazing every segment, every time. And we've talked about kind of women's division definitely still developing. But I think the big difference is when AEW does something I don't like, it's just that wasn't the best thing I've ever seen. When WWE does something I don't like, it's what the did I just see? Why did that happen? That was borderline offensive to me. Why are we focusing so much on this cuckold story? I don't know. It's just...
harder on the WWE. We expect more from them. We're giving AEW a chance still, so that's why they can do really bad things, and we still accept it. If you are one of those people like myself, like AJ, where we accept everything they do because they're a newer company, we want them to do good realistically, go follow... We had beef, we truced it. I know you remember him. Go follow Bearing Smarks. He has some really funny memes about AEW that shows their flaws because a lot of people don't point them out. They have flaws. The WWE has flaws. Every wrestling company has flaws. Yeah. He points outside out because
it's hard.
A lot of us sit on the green side of the fence because we want AEW to do good. But if you really want to see where they're really messing up, go follow Bearing Smarks. We had beef. He used me as a meme way back in the day, but we truced it. We had a conversation, a mature conversation about it, and we're good. So shout out to Bearing Smarks. He has a podcast. Check it out. But yeah, if you do want to see some of the bad of AEW, just follow them. But I'm an AEW supporter. I want to know you guys' thoughts on it. There's one thing I really dislike about AEW, and this week did it again. I'm not a fan of their women's division. I don't even know why they have a women's division. They haven't really... last week, they did a really good job of trying to build Nyla Rose. They tried to, do stuff with Brandy and stuff. And then this week, it felt like the only women's thing that mattered was Brandy Rhodes. There was a women's match on there that I cared nothing about. They don't define the characters enough for me to care about it. Does that make sense?
So it's just there pretty much.
They had that girl, the Japanese woman come out that dressed up like Freddie Mercury and wrestle someone. But the entire time, I'm I just don't care about this.
Yeah. I really want Priscilla on there.
I want Priscilla on there. I want Britt on TV more. I want that Statlander girl more on TV. I want Penelope on there more. I want Sadie Gibbs on there more. I want... Why did Roddy Piper's daughter just disappear? put people on there that we know and put them on TV. Nothing against these Japanese women, but if you're gonna put them on there, like let us know about them. I forgot Ryoho was even around because she hasn't been on TV for weeks until Brandy said. I'm like, oh yeah, she's a champ. I'm not like.
I still like the title. I like how it's smaller. I know that doesn't matter.
That's all. That's your only opinion.
No, I already before you even said it. That's what I said about AEW. Is like aside from the women's division, which I think still needs to grow, which I think will now that Penelope's doing stuff and it's intergender and Chris Zetlander is now signed, right?
Yeah, I like her. True? She's dope.
I think
I like Riho too, but like she's the only one that kind of gave character to you, so I probably shouldn't have used her name. But like Emi Sakura, I don't know anything about her. This Shida like chick, I don't know anything about her.
Doctor.
Huh? And then Britt Baker, like she's one of the biggest stars, but they barely use her.
Unless Kane's gonna come out as his dentist gimmick, then like Isaac Yankum and the Doctor, like unless that's happening, we need to tone it down.
I don't know, man. Unless she's gonna go on a full Doctor gimmick too. But anyways, that's my thoughts on Dynamite. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun show. I didn't really get to watch NXT this week. The only thing that stood out was the Dakota thing, which we already talked about. And then also Finn Balor is now the number one contender for Adam Cole, which means Ciampa's not going after Goldie yet. And Keith Lee's not going after the title either. But the match with Finn and Adam Cole is only for a December 18th episode of NXT. So that means for whatever the next takeover is, maybe we'll still get Ciampa versus Adam Cole for the belt. But it's crazy because I think for weeks off and on they've teased Finn maybe joining with the Undisputed Era, then Finn kicking Adam Cole and all this stuff. So it's cool to see that we're going to have Finn versus Adam Cole. I don't know if there's any curveballs here, but personally, I like Adam Cole as champion. I'd like to see Finn put Adam Cole over, but I wouldn't be mad if Finn won the belt either because it'd be a nice little thing for NXT to mix things up that way. But that's all I can really say about NXT because I didn't watch it.
If Balor wins the title,
yeah,
do you think Undisputed Era is going to start losing the tag titles and the...
No, that's the one thing too. I really like the Undisputed Era holding all the belts.
It makes so much sense if they have all the belts. If one doesn't have the title, then...
Do you have a prediction?
Kind of falls apart.
AJ?
This is sacrilegious, but there aren't that many matches on NXT in the men's division that I care about. Is that weird?
How do you feel about the women's division then? First things first, I just want to throw out a prediction. I do think Johnny Gargano is going to return to cost Finn the match and Adam Cole retains because there's unfinished business between Gargano and Finn. But the women's division NXT, how do you feel about it?
There are just so many players there that I think are so badass that when I do, although I don't give it as much attention because I'll flip back and watch it when I'm watching AEW, but I still think it's kind of awkward to watch it at whatever that center is called where they record and just the amount of people there. It's kind of weird to watch on TV for me, but God, Shayna's such a badass.
Shayna's cool. Mia Yim's cool. And talking about badasses, like Rhea Ripley, like dude, she's a star.
She's so cool.
I'm waiting for Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, watching the women in that division make me so excited.
Bianca Belair, I've heard a bunch about her. I know she's a powerhouse. She hasn't grown on me yet. Mia Yim grew on me. Io Shirai grew on me. She's dope. Dakota, this new Dark Dakota is cool, man. And Dakota just got Dakota, since she's turned heels, has just been getting her ass whooped. But at the same time, I'm waiting for Tegan to come back. Tegan's dope. I like Tegan. I know she stole your nickname.
No, she's badass. Even though she stole it,
I'm a Tegan
she's
fan.
not done justice, so that's fine.
Yeah, and I'm a Tegan fan.
She's still a badass.
Yeah, the NXT women are bad. And the whole invasion angle before Survivor Series, showing the NXT women come up onto Raw and SmackDown, showed that they kind of had this different kind of vibe to them, compared to the other roster girls. So I agree with you. The women's, that's what I always say. If there's one thing about NXT I know for sure that I like better than AEW, it's the fact that their women's division is way, far more superior than AEW's women's division, without question. But the one thing I'll say I like about AEW a little bit more than NXT. NXT, yes, they have promos and storylines and stuff, but I like the over the top promos and stuff that AEW does, the promos from MJF and this. And I'm a promo character guy. Sometimes NXT feels really wrestling heavy, and I love good wrestling as much as the next guy. But if it's good match after good match after good match after good match, I get kind of bored. What were you saying?
Oh, sorry. I was just saying they're almost not even promos. They're more like monologues, most of them, especially the ones that they film.
Yeah, no, for sure. I still think the one flaw with AEW is they have a lot of stuff that's on their YouTube channel that should be on the show.
The YouTube channel is pretty funny. The ones you watch.
I know, but it would help if they had that stuff in the show. Anyways, I think that's going to wrap it up for that. That's all I know about NXT. That's all I know about AEW. Let's get into our TLC predictions for the card that we have so far. It is a Sunday. A lot of these matches were just announced this week. A lot of them were announced on that Street Profits Saturday Night Live Weekend Update ripoff. I like it though. I dig it. We'll see how it goes. First things first, the Viking Warriors will be facing a to be determined team. As far as I know, I'm over them facing jobbers. So I think they might be facing the NXT UK champions. I'm trying to remember their name. I think it was Flash Webster and Mark Andrews or something like that. I'm so bad because I don't watch NXT UK that much. But it's been rumored that it might be them, which will be a fun match to see the Viking Raiders kind of facing an actual tag team rather than just jobbers from the local area. So I think, I don't know about you guys, but I predict the Viking Raiders win though.
Oh, easy, yeah.
Yeah.
But Viking Raiders is sick, man.
They're dope.
I think the first time I saw them was when we watched War Games.
Yeah.
You introduced me to War Games.
Well, the War Games match in NXT.
Oh, those guys are nuts, man.
How do you feel? The Viking Raiders going to win against their to-be-determined opponents?
I mean, how can I really predict what will happen? I'm going to go with the mystery.
You're going to go with the we don't know who they are? Fair.
When I eat Airheads, I would always go with the mystery flavor, so I'm just going to go along with that.
Okay. Rusev versus Bobby Lashley in a table match. First things first, did you hear CM Punk's fantasy booking of this on WWE Backstage where he's like, no, it would be awesome if eventually Bobby Lashley gets sick of Lana too.
Oh, yeah. No, I agree. I always, in that kind of storyline.
And then Lashley and Rusev become friends. Lashley and Rusev become friends, and then Lana finds a tag team to fight Lashley and Rusev, who both don't like Lana. And it's like this whole, he like booked it in this whole funny way. If you haven't seen it, I'll post it. It's or you can find it on Twitter or whatnot. It's a CM Punk fantasy booking the Lashley Rusev thing.
That's not going to happen.
But Rusev has to win, right? Like,
I think Lashley's going to take that.
He's going to put Rusev through a table to help Lana?
I think so.
Continue this?
Yeah,
to continue?
I guess so. I want him to win.
You do?
You know, it'd be sick, though, if Lana hopped up on the apron, and then Rusev goes for a kick and just smokes Lana.
Yeah, that could happen.
And then he's going to be distracted. Lashley comes from behind.
Puts him through a table?
That's it. What if he puts Lana through a table?
I mean, to continue the storyline, yeah, you'd have Lashley go over. To end it and move on from this, you'd have Rusev win. I want them to move on from it, personally.
They need to end it. It's funny. It's okay, but like...
Rusev has been killing it. I'm not going to lie.
Rusev's fighting.
Lashley actually hasn't been that bad either. Lana's acting is really bad.
I mean, it's
and she came from Hollywood.
Because she doesn't have the accent anymore. She's just herself. She's not acting. She's a good actress.
And her as herself isn't fun. She's not good at what she's doing.
It's because she's not acting. She's just trying to be herself, and that's not good. She's a good actress, but when she has to just be herself, it's weird. Yeah. But I will say I'm so glad that, you know what makes her character when she had the accent, but also the outfits. Yeah. I'm so glad she's back into, like, her just... I want to say it's almost like Vanna White meets... I can't think of a famous, like, woman in the boardroom, but it's... I really appreciate her being back with like a unique look. So I think her and Mella and a few people have that look that we kind of talked about a little bit ago. And now Rusev with his t-shirts. So
Carmella's the best. Carmella's the best in the world.
Don't bring it up.
She's a beautiful human.
Debatable.
And one of the best.
But also Mella's style's on point.
And Mella's money. I commented on a picture today. I mean, you're a very stylish dog mom, and she liked my comment because we're homies, me and Mella.
Oh, that's sick, bud.
Yeah, let's go Mella.
Nah.
Carmella. My cousin used to hate Mella because she used to scream so much during her matches, and he'd get so annoyed of her.
Yeah, but she was acting, so it was okay. Whereas, yeah.
She's the best.
Debatable.
Mella's money. Anyways.
Also, we did talk about Team Jacob, and I will bring it back up at the end, so continue them.
Who was that angle with?
Andrade and Zelina.
What happened with Andrade and Selena?
What's his name? Humberto
Carrillo, yeah.
Yeah, he had a match.
Carrillo. I think it's Humberto Carrillo. Yeah.
But it's like double R, double L.
Yeah,
but whatever.
Yeah.
It's Jacob to me. It's Team Jacob to me.
So he looks like Jacob and Andrade looks like...
From Twilight.
Yeah, well, who's who?
Wait, hold on. Like the werewolves and the vampires?
Yes. The werewolves and the vampires.
From like...
But from Mexico.
Okay, I need you guys... Can we just get me off the screen and you guys Google Taylor Lautner and then...
Okay, so Humberto would be Taylor Lautner, obviously. Yeah, so Humberto looks like Taylor Lautner. Fair.
Sick.
Andrade does not look like Edward.
That's why I'm Team Jacob.
Oh,
He
okay.
won. He beat Andrade. So I'm Team
But
Jacob.
Andrade
That's
is
all I'm
definitely
saying.
not a definitely not a vampire.
No, that's not. It's not. They don't have to be a vampire. I'm just Team Jacob. We're just only talking about Jacob. There's no
So
Team
Humberto
Edward here.
Carrillo is Jacob.
Is Jacob.
And hot take. Do you know who I also think is Team Jacob
Who?
after that match?
Zelina?
Zelina.
You think she's in jump ship? Andrade is a man, though. Andrade deserves a purse. Speaking of guys that deserve a
They
purse.
were fighting after. I think
They were. There was tension. I'm not going to deny that. Someone that deserves a purse and a match I'm really, 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 really looking forward to because I like both guys and I've been waiting for one of them to wrestle a lot more and he has been, but once again against the guys that aren't really competition for him. Aleister Black is my guy. I'm a huge Aleister Black fan. I love the Black Mask. You know, when we played WWE 2K,
I can't beat you.
I'm Black Masking everybody.
That and Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, Lesnar.
That's a case.
Lesnar
That's a
in the
case.
video games is insane. I'm pretty good with the Randy Orton too, man. Those RKOs out of nowhere.
I can beat
surprising.
you. Easy.
But Aleister Black versus the Buddy Murphy versus Buddy Murphy.
Aleister Black.
No, Aleister Black for sure. But I'm excited for that, and I think it's gonna be a really good match because we should not underestimate how good Buddy Murphy is.
Yes, agree. Did he change his shorts yet or no?
I don't know.
Okay,
But
we'll
I'm a
give you
fan.
that.
I'm a huge fan. I think this is gonna be one of the, this match could potentially steal the show if they give it enough time. And just Aleister Black is so cool, man. Like he should be like in the title picture in my mind already. Like that's how cool I think he comes off, and he's got the
100%.
look. He's got the style that's fun to watch, and he's believable. You believe he'll kick somebody's ass. And then, you know, his theme song bangs, dude. I was like, no man is truly evil. No man is truly good.
See, when we go,
That sounds so
when we play
good.
2K,
No man
we
is,
gotta go live
remember when
for
you
that.
Googled the lyrics when we were driving to Stomping Grounds because I was just saying gibberish? I don't even know what I was singing, but I was going ham. And then
Didn't I look up the lyrics?
And then
with
AJ had to
you?
like Google the lyrics to actually understand what they're saying.
Yeah.
And then now I can't.
Did you? When you hear it, do you still?
Now I
picture
hear
John's
what it
face?
says, but back before I just said no man, no man, no man, no man, and I'm like,
See,
yeah.
you get hyped to this just like it was Punk's cult of personality. You get the same reaction.
It gets me hyped, dude.
You get hyped from
but now I know the lyrics. Like, no man is truly good. No man is truly evil. And I'm like, yeah. I'm joking, but anyways. Aleister Black. I'm a huge fan. Going to be a world champion in 2020.
Think so?
I want him to. He's an enigma, man. Everybody. We're in an era where a lot of the guys are like pretty. Don't get me wrong. I love a lot of these guys are great wrestlers, but pretty plain looking. You know, like AJ's got a look. He's pretty plain looking. Seth, pretty plain looking. Finn Balor, pretty plain looking. Don't get me wrong. They're all kind of similar. Lean build, skinny, good looking dudes. Aleister Black looks different, and that's what stands out to me. He doesn't look like any of the rest of these guys. You put him next to anybody, and it's believable that, like, okay, I need to be worried about this guy. He does it. He's a loose cannon, and that's why I like Aleister Black. I think you put Aleister Black next to a Seth Rollins. You put Aleister Black next to AJ Styles. You put Aleister Black next to Brock Lesnar. There's always something to be worried about because you're like, imagine Aleister Black staring down Brock Lesnar. I'd be like, oh, this is gonna happen now. Just
imagine Lesnar getting hit with that.
You know what I mean?
Right? Ooh, that back kick.
You know, Aleister Black in front of Samoa Joe. Like anybody that you think is a threat, you put Aleister Black in front of there, and it fits. It works because he just has that presence. Personal opinion, once again, huge fan. Maybe it's a bias. I think Aleister Black versus Lesnar would be killer.
You think so? Not bad.
Who's in? That's a question. It's a Rumble.
A little bit of everything that I like.
Yeah, he's got a distinctive look. He's someone like there's certain guys that look different, and I tend to lean towards them. I think it's one of the things like what many people would call Kevin Owens' flaws, or what I think is so cool about Kevin Owens is he doesn't look like anybody else. He's great on the mic, and he has a presence. You know what I mean? A lot of these guys look like the same.
All his matches are good too.
Everybody else looks like they're just all, you know, really fit CrossFit junkies. These guys look like they do other things and they have character. You know what I mean? Like Seth, CrossFit junkies. Finn Balor looks like he probably does CrossFit. That guy, like, they all kind of look the same.
Loved the Sammy thing with him on Raw.
Yeah.
Oh, we really didn't talk about.
Yeah. Well,
Sorry.
Sammy's in with Mojo. How do you feel about that? It's weird.
I don't hate. I mean, I hate everything that's happening with Mojo, but I actually didn't. The two like ginger beards together and them like bickering back and forth, and
Yeah.
Mojo still going on. Like aside from his outfit, which you know I'll always talk about the attire and how it's so important. Aside from that being completely off, him just kind of I don't know. I thought the segment was good. I enjoyed it. There was a moment where I was like, this is cringe aside from the outfit. So
when was Mojo in his peak? Like when
he was with Zack Ryder, maybe?
No, it was Gronkowski, no?
No, Gronk was over, not Mojo.
No, he was just there, though. That was like...
Speaking of Gronks, the Gronks, ice shaker, get the bottle. Keeps the stuff cold for hours. But it's made by Gronk's brother. It's his company. It's a whole thing.
I feel like they're trying to make him, whoa, I can't believe I forgot this guy's name.
Who?
Feed Me More Dude. What's his name?
Who?
Ryback.
Feed Me More Dude. Yes, the Ryback. You forgot about the Ryback. They're trying to make who like the Ryback?
Mojo.
Fair enough. I do like Sami Zayn in a managerial role. I do, and I personally, I'd want Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens to be low-key friends forever. But it's cool to see a little back and forth between them because nobody knows each other better than Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, and it's great when they're together. It's great when they're against each other. They're just yeah. Sami's dope. Anyways, move away from that. Aleister Black over Buddy Murphy. We all agree on that. Yep. This one, I don't know why it's happening. I knew we were heading this way. You got Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. You got Sasha and Bayley, which I wouldn't even put them in the situation. You got Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, but yet we're still going with the Kabuki Warriors against Charlotte and Becky. Charlotte hasn't ever felt as irrelevant as she feels in the past few months. Becky is still Becky, but she's a women's championship. I'd rather see her defending that against someone than being in this tag match against the Kabuki Warriors. And to be quite honest with you, I really like the Kabuki Warriors. Most since Asuka introduced the Mist and Kai went a little bit more dark. I don't want them to lose the belts yet. And everything is pointing in the direction that Charlotte and Becky are going over just to have them have the belts for maybe a time being until maybe the Kabuki Warriors win it back and then Charlotte and Becky feud again. But I don't like the idea that like Charlotte and Becky have one of the like greatest breakups and feuds, putting Becky to where she is today, and we're just supposed to believe they were forced to be friends again, tag team, because the Kabuki Warriors forced them to. I don't know.
I think that Becky and Charlotte need one more event to happen to either bring them together finally and more succinctly before they get rewarded. So, yeah, I don't want them to.
So you're going with the Kabuki Warriors?
Yeah.
Yes.
You're going with the Kabuki Warriors too, Jaden?
Easy, dude. I love it. The Mist is so sick. It reminds me of Tajiri.
Tajiri, when I was a kid, Great Muda used to do it. Then Tajiri did it. My first time seeing the Mist was Great Muda, and then Tajiri, and I've always been fascinated by it. And the video games are so much fun too to randomly just miss your friend who doesn't watch wrestling, and they're like, "What the hell was that, bro?" But like, I don't know. I like the Mist. I like the Kabuki Warriors. It made me a fan of Asuka. It made me more of a fan of Kairi Sane. I love her elbow. She did the insane elbow on Becky Lynch on Raw, through the table, which is sweet.
Ooh, I love how she gets all that air to it. And she just drops it right on him.
And this is the most relevant Asuka's felt since this year January. And I think I want the Kabuki Warriors to have a lengthy run with the titles. And if they are going to face somebody, why not go after a team like Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville that could actually, I'd be excited to let them actually beat them and win the titles and go back and forth.
I feel like they have a good run.
Rather than Charlotte and Becky. It's just that Becky's over. We're going to get Becky 2 belts again, I feel. So I'm going to go with Charlotte and Becky just because I feel like Charlotte needs something to do and Becky's Becky. But I want the Kabuki Warriors to win. My gut's telling me Charlotte and Becky's going to win.
Not Kabuki.
So if I was going to bet money on it, probably Charlotte and Becky.
I would never bet money on my predictions.
I would never bet money on wrestling. But I was like, if I was going to.
The predictions.
So we talked about that match. These are only the matches that are booked as of today. It's Thursday. There might be matches booked in the next couple of days on Smackdown this Friday, tomorrow night. But I'm just going off what we have today. Next thing is the New Day versus the Revival for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. Once again, we talked about this a little bit earlier. Yeah. I want the Revival to win just because I think the Revival are sometimes underappreciated, not underused because they have been tag champions on both shows and they do a lot. But I want them to have a lengthy run. And once again,
their runs like that, like really good though.
They are, but they never get the opportunity to run with them because somebody always takes the belts from them for stupid reasons.
They get jacked after a while.
I think they should still go to AEW. That's my last holdout for them.
I know.
There's such a long-running gag that they need to capitalize on. I mean, maybe they...
You want that Young Bucks Revival match.
Yeah.
I think we all do.
But I think maybe the Revival should get... It would be better if they did have some more accolades before they went.
Yeah, and once again, like, the New Day does not need the belt. I love Big E. I love Kofi. I love Woods. They're over no matter what they do. Like, they've been over. They've never needed belts. They've never need to even have matches. They could host WrestleMania and they're still over. They are beyond over. Yeah. Fans love them. They could literally, they can throw pancakes around and get that over. They can do anything and get it over. They're the New Day. They just don't need the belts. I'm not going to be mad if they retain, but I would love the Revival to win. So I'm going to go with the Revival.
Just a serious question now.
What?
If Kofi Kingston threw a pancake at you, would you eat it?
I had pancakes. I've had a pancake thrown at me at that show when we were front row with Maestro. Shout out to Ghost, the Maestro Classic. Yeah, no, I didn't eat it. I caught it. Someone caught it though. You caught it. You caught it and you ate it, right? And then Tampri caught one too with Unkit.
Oh, what a savage.
I had multiple ones, so I ate one and then kept the other.
All I know is that I want the Revival to win that. Bray Wyatt versus The Miz, and this is Mr. Rogers in his sweater. Bray Wyatt, I think we're getting, not the Fiend, versus The Miz, and I've been waiting to see that Bray Wyatt wrestle. Is he just gonna come out to the Firefly Funhouse music then? Just straight Firefly Funhouse music?
That'd be cool.
He should.
That'd be cool.
With his blue title, not the Fiend title. Are they gonna do somehow where the Fiend shows up? Because you can't do that. It's so weird. You can't. There's no way to do that.
That's
it's the same person. Or does Bryan show up and screw over The Miz? A new Bryan that joins the Firefly Funhouse family.
Could he not? I guess not. It's a mask, though.
What if Bryan gets his own like Fiend kind of outfit where he's now a dark character that attacks The Miz? Yeah, or something. Because we've seen Bryan join the Wyatt family to infiltrate it. But what if now Wyatt or the Fiend gets Bryan to join them forcefully and like brainwashed him or something? I don't know.
What's the wackiest character Bryan's done that I could pull from? Even imagine that.
I don't know. Team Hell No?
Team Hell No, that was sick.
Yeah, that's it. And that's not even that. That's just him being goofy.
That was like goofy though.
I don't know, but it could happen because right? Bryan, as we've seen in the last year, I've said this many times in the show, Bryan is one of the most consistent promo givers, actors, talents on the roster since he's came out of retirement. He kills it every time. He was a hell of a champion. The Mr. Save the Earth character was great.
That was awesome, dude.
The return was great. Now, even the stuff he's doing with The Fiend has been great. Like, getting Kofi over was great. Everything. Bryan is like an established star that can do no wrong right now. But I do see him in a period of his career where he's just experimenting with things because he almost lost his career fully. And I think he's back and he's doing whatever he can now. And I can see him doing something funky to kind of switch it up and try it out. That's eventually going to lead to The Fiend versus Bryan, maybe at WrestleMania or something, but I don't know.
But I don't get it though. Why is he going after Miz?
Miz was trying to tell Bryan that, once a Fiend gets you, everyone's been changing. Look what happened to Seth Rollins. Look what happened to Finn. They all like turned heel and changed after the Fiend went after them. Like, Bryan, like, you have a family to worry about now. Like, you shouldn't be messing with this guy. Like, he's just going to get in your head, this and that. And then now the Fiend took out Bryan. Yeah. He dragged him out of the ring, cut his hair, did some stuff. And then Miz was like, well, going after the Fiend now, like, da-da-da. And then Bray Wyatt's like talking about family and stuff and getting in Miz's head about like, he had a picture of him with like Maurice and Bryan and Miz's kids and stuff, and now they're going to face each other for the title. Where I still think at some point Bryan's probably going to pop out of nowhere and get involved again. And there's always going to be this love-hate relationship, hate relationship and bad blood between the Miz and Bryan that goes all the way back to 2010. So is Bryan going to help the Miz? Or like, it's like Miz and Bryan have the perfect chemistry of like, two guys that will never really like each other. So it's weird to see Miz looking out for Bryan. Like, how is Bryan going to reciprocate? Like, it's an interesting situation.
You're right, though. Bryan's really consistent. He's so good when it comes to, like, tapping into darkness, but also people just welcome him being a babyface so easily as well. But I think it all comes down to whether or not he's ready to shave the beard.
See, that's weird, though, if he comes back just clean-shaven.
Clean shaven? Just get a haircut? Like, it could just be a smaller beard and a smaller hair.
But
I feel like he'd have to be a good guy.
Bray was saying that he was going to introduce a new face to the Wyatt family. And then he attacked Bryan, took him out of the ring, and threw a bunch of hair out.
Like big chunks, too.
Yeah.
Easy. He's going to be clean shaven.
And the only person that was kind of a new face would have been Bryan then, I guess. And we haven't seen Bryan since.
That's true.
Bryan is an innovator. He will do different things and try different things.
Come back with a haircut and shave.
Yeah. So anyways.
Then maybe Maybe
what?
I don't have a prediction then. I just don't know. And
I'm gonna go with Bray. Obviously, Bray retaining. Bray's not losing
it. And now I actually am excited about it just from talking about it.
Because I'm good at selling. I'm good at selling people at wrestling. You hear that, WWE? I'm good at taking you guys' storylines and making them sound cooler than they really are on TV. Because I think too much, and I love storylines. I really didn't care about that. I dive into the characters and storylines and make them sound better. So put the TWC show on the network. No, but seriously, like that's what I see, and I obviously prediction's easy for this because Bray Wyatt's not losing the Universe title.
No, he's not, man.
Just something's gonna happen. And the Miz is not winning the title, so Bray Wyatt's winning. That's a prediction.
As long as we're not projecting bugs in the screen, it's probably gonna be cool.
I'm glad that it's Bray Wyatt, because I hate that stupid red light. Even Seth was saying on backstage that he hated the red light, and he didn't realize they were gonna do a red light at Hell in the Cell until they did. And it was really hard to wrestle. If you guys don't watch WWE Backstage, watch it. It's on FS1, hosted by Renee Young and Booker T and usually Paige. Sometimes Christian's on there. Sometimes CM Punk is on there. But it's always enjoyable. It's not home runs every week, but there's always something. It'll leave you with a good, fun wrestling show to watch every week, and you'll enjoy it. But every other week, most of the time when CM Punk's on there, you get some good clips and get some stuff to talk about because he's very opinionated about the current product.
And sometimes David Arquette.
Yeah. Last but not least, the only other match that we have to predict, and then we'll wrap this up. TLC match, Roman Reigns. This cough's not going away. TLC match, Roman Reigns versus King Corbin.
Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns. Unless King Corbin gets the win.
No way.
But I'm at the point where I actually like seeing Roman win. I don't mind Roman. Nothing about Roman bothers me anymore.
What's on the line here?
Nothing.
No?
It was good.
It's not a TLC match that you climb up and have to get something. It's just you get to use tables, ladders, and chairs.
That's it.
Oh.
I mean, let me double check. I don't think anything's on the line.
Before Corbin beat him, Roman Reigns is...
I guess...
Tables, ladders, chairs match. Wait. That's all it says.
So Corbin's obviously going to have Dolph...
Oh, also, by the way, the Kabuki Warriors versus Becky Lynch and Charlotte is also a tables, ladders, chairs match, which will actually make that match a lot more fun.
Cool.
But I still think Charlotte and Becky are winning, even though I want Asuka and Kairi Sane to win. And if they do win, I'll be excited. But anyways, I think we all agree Roman Reigns. And King Corbin, ever since he's become a king, has grown on me. I hated the outfit before. I hated the TJF waiter outfit. I hated his character. I hated him before he was even that. I thought he looked like a guy and I said this so many times on live streams. Back in the day, Baron Corbin looked like a guy that you would see in Walmart yelling at his wife. But now he looks like a normal dude. I dig the king gimmick. It suits him. It goes with his ego. I'm going to go with Baron Corbin. I don't know if his lackeys of Bobby Roode or Dolph Ziggler will probably come out there and help him or anything. Maybe Ollie and Shorty G will come and help Roman. I don't know, but I'm going to go with Roman. And I hate the name Shorty G, by the way, too. But I'm going to go with Roman.
Shorty G, oh God.
No. I agree Corbin will probably win, but then I have a question. Where are the Usos in trouble?
No, they haven't been around. But I'll tell you this, when they come back, it's going to be a very happy moment because I miss them, too. They're dope. But it's good, right? Absence makes the heart grow fonder. And they've been gone for a while, so when they do come back. Sometimes I think the problem with a lot of wrestlers is they don't get injured or they don't leave, they don't take breaks.
Yeah.
That you never tend to miss them. Because people returning is always a fun thing.
When was the last time you saw them?
There's no chance they would come out.
I don't know.
There's no chance they would come out to help Roman, right?
Oh, maybe they could come out to help Roman. That'd be something new. But I like the fact that Roman's been kind of hanging around with Ollie and Shorty G because that Chad Gable. So that gives them things to do rather than, Well, Bobby Roode's suspended under a wellness policy, so he's not going to be there. So I don't know if they'll actually be involved. I think if they're going to end the show with Roman versus King Corbin, which they probably won't, they'll probably end it with something else.
What will they end it with?
Well, we still don't know what Seth and Kevin Owens are doing or if they're doing anything at all. And Bray and Miz could be something to end if they're going to do something with Bryan. And since it's 2019, and I'm not saying this in a negative way, I'm just saying there is a high chance this could end with the Kabuki Warriors versus Charlotte and Becky to have the women main event.
I mean, that'd be a solid match, though.
It is something that happens these days.
Yeah.
It's a common thing. We saw the main event Survivor Series. So that could also end the show.
I mean,
but I don't know.
I wouldn't mind that.
And we still don't know if there's going to be a Sasha versus Lacey match or a Bayley versus Lacey match. Like, once again, it's Thursday. We're recording this. There still might be matches added to this card. WWE main roster pay-per-views are known to have a bazillion matches compared to the 5-match NXT takeovers. So we'll see. I don't know. We still don't know what Seth and Owens are, if they're going to do anything at all. One last thing. You guys haven't really been watching Raw, though, right? Like, watching it?
No, like bits and parts.
Because one last thing I want to say before we close this. How do you guys feel? I've really been enjoying Samoa Joe on commentary. Some good stuff.
Why is he on commentary?
Because he's injured.
Yeah.
He hurt his arm or whatever, right?
Yeah, his thumb or pinky or something, but he's injured. But he's just
got,
great.
he's got, like,
I think he adds a lot to the commentary team. It's good stuff. I dig it. Other than that, I think that's it for this week, man. I really appreciate you guys coming on and helping me out with this. I had no co-host this week, and Jaden, thank you for coming on here. AJ,
pleasure,
I definitely want you back on here because we always shoot the shit on our live streams and stuff anyways. People love the AJ and Justin live streams, or the Justin and AJ live streams, which definitely need to return as well.
I feel like I should get cable now, right?
Yeah, you should probably get cable and actually watch wrestling. And I would invite you on the show more often because I already knew you don't watch it that much at the moment, besides when you go to the gym. So I'm like, I'm going to have to guide you through it. Man. AJ still keeps up with it a little bit more than you, mostly because I'm her friend. And then
you're my cousin.
Yeah, but you're just, I don't know. The thing I'll say about all the kids in my family, though, they were like forced to like somewhat like wrestling because of me. So
I stuck with it, though.
You stuck with it. That's true.
I all started WrestleMania 24. Never forget it.
Yeah. And I used to take you to every Royal Rumble. I'd take you to the movie theaters to watch Royal Rumbles for like 5 years straight, 6 years straight.
And then
those were the days, man. Then the network came out. But anyways, I really do appreciate both of you guys being on here. I definitely want to have you guys back on. You guys remember, if you want to listen to this show, it's on Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Podbean, and the video drops on YouTube on the Wrestling Classic YouTube channel. Check it out each and every week. Appreciate all the support you guys have already been giving us. We're getting tons of feedback and stuff. I really appreciate it. Once again, you can buy that red Wrestling Classic hoodie on TWCshop.com. You can also get it in other colors. I have it in black. You can get that crop top TWC Worldwide hoodie on TWCshop.com for yourself if you're a female, or for your loved one if you want to buy them wrestling merchandise for some reason, if they like wrestling. That all comes in green, black, gray. And do the thing, man. TWCshop.com. Maybe I'll drop you guys a promo code. I did all the promo stuff at the beginning of the show, so if you skipped that and you wanted the promo codes for Chalkline and Maestro and all that stuff, you got to go back to the beginning and listen. And yeah, man, too sweet me. Are we still allowed to do that? Can I too sweet your forehead? I don't think I do that over here.
If you can plug my Instagram, you're allowed to do it.
Oh yeah. You guys can plug your stuff. Plug your stuff, AJ. Plug all your stuff. Sorry, that's a rude host. I'm so used to Devon being here. There's just like, I don't have Instagram. Plug your stuff.
I'm KeepMe on Instagram and pretty much everything else. So yeah, that's it.
That's it. Jaden, you can plug your stuff.
Mine is just plain and simple. It's Jaden Johal on Instagram, but that's honestly the only thing I'm on.
And this guy needs a Cardillo weight belt, but he be lifting those weights.
Cardillo.
How much were you lifting in that one video?
I believe it was 275 for the deadlift.
This guy's nuts. This guy needs one of these bad boys.
I'm waiting, man. I'm waiting.
It's a shout out to Steve Cardillo. That's my man. It's the boy. It's the brother.
Trying to get strapped up.
But yeah, everyone, we'll be back next week. Episode 22. Hopefully Devon will be back. We'll break down what happened and review TLC. We'll see how our predictions went. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. Jaden, give him a goodbye.
Peace out.
AJ, give him a goodbye. Too sweet me. I'm too sweet your forehead, even though you're really far away. And that's
do it. On the screen. Do it on the screen.
It's so far. I don't think I can reach it. 1 sec. Oh,
do it.
There we go. It's coming. Done. Woo. If you don't know the story about that, you haven't been a part of the live stream. But anyways, my hair's all messy. We're getting the hell out of here. Hope you guys all enjoy the week. Enjoy TLC. Enjoy Raw, Smackdown, Dynamite, and NXT next week. And we're out of here. Ooh, yeah, dig it. Breeze the madness. Dig it.